Hello. Welcome back to Crazy Fucking Mommy, episode 115. I'm your host, Elyse DeLucci. Welcome to my living room on the Upper East Side, people. How you doing? I have a new robe on today. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening, it's a black satin kimono with like a traditional print. I'm looking at it. It has like birds and geishas on it and like teal and gold. It's very, very glamorous, but it's satin. So it's poly. People are like, oh, satin. Yeah, okay. Polyester. Fake fabric. I would love to have a silk kimono like this, but one, can't find any because, they're not popular. I guess because if you're under the age of 90, nobody's shopping for a silk kimono with a traditional print. But anyway, I don't know. I probably shouldn't be wearing a satin kimono because I have the worst rash. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but you know what? We're family, so whatever. I don't know what happened. I have a terrible rash on my upper part of my body, not on my chest, like on my stomach, on my back, on my sides. I have no idea what it's from. Of course, naturally, I'm going around thinking that I'm allergic to sweat, because I've been doing the Peloton like 4 times a week. It's my thing that I've been doing. Well, I had the bike for, 3. Remember, I bought the bike when Bitcoin hit 60,000, right? Bitcoin hit 60,000. I sold a whatever it was, however much for the Peloton, $3,000. Ridiculous, by the way. I bought an exercise bike for $3,000. I bought a bicycle for $3,000. Like, I know it's ridiculous to me too. But I sold some of the Bitcoin, bought the Peloton, and then it sat, collected dust. It was a clothes hanger. So I decided recently, you know what? I'm just going to freaking use it. I'm going to use it. I'm going to commit to it. And, let me just do this tangent. How I got myself to commit to it is that I feel like I had like a light bulb moment. I don't have to do a full class. If I get on the bike and all I could do is 5 minutes, then I get the hell off. If I could do 10 minutes, then I get off. Like, and the class is still going. I just leave the class. That's just it. I don't do a live class. I do the pre-recorded classes. I don't feel the pressure of having to do a 30-minute spin class. When you're in person doing the class, well, that you can't just walk out. So I think that I told myself that I have control over when I could come and go in the exercise classes, made it much more approachable for me is what I'm trying to tell you. So I've been on the bike, right? Like 4 times a week. And let me tell you, Peloton is not a sponsor, by the way. But one of the things that I love that I just discovered that you're going to love is that you could search, by instructor, right? So I like taking I like a few different instructors. You search, but you can also search by music. So I've been searching. I'm like, let me throw Donna Summer in there. Like, let me just see what happens. Like 30 classes, Donna Summer, all dance anthems. Donna Summer dance anthems. A whole class on the radio, MacArthur Park. Honestly, 6:30 in the morning, this living room turns into a discotheque. Like Barbra Streisand's on there, Liza, Broadway. They have a Disney playlist. Not for me. Although Aladdin has some tunes, I cannot even handle the music. So honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing. Music selection, like butter, baby. So I've been doing it. So 4 days a week, right? And I don't have. Am I getting on workout clothes? I mean, like I have, of course, I have, like you. Through the years, I said I was going to do exercise. And then I went to Target and I bought all the exercise clothes. And then, probably like you, they sat in my closet or I wore them to go back to Target to buy snacks. You know what I'm saying? So I go on the Peloton. I don't always wear the exercise clothes. Sometimes I'm in my nightgown. You know why? Because it's my house. I could do whatever I want. My kids think I'm a lunatic anyway. And I am doing the best. I get on the bike in my floor length nightgown and I'm pedaling to Donna Summer at 6:30 in the morning for 5 minutes. Yes, that is that's the reality. Here's the thing. I got this terrible rash all over my body like a few weeks ago. And I'm thinking, I'm allergic to sweat. So immediately, I'm like, saw this rash. Oh ma. It's not like, again, TMI. It's not like a pimply rash. It's not like bumps. It's almost like flat, like it looks like mosquito bites or bug bites. And I read that you could be allergic to sweat, but that but come on, that's ridiculous. I've sweat before and not got a rash. It's something. My mother's like, boy, it's probably your shampoo. I'm like, is all of a sudden like VO5 and what's the other one I have? Oh no, I have herbal essences right now. And it is all of a sudden that attacking my body. It's something. It's something. I don't know what it is. It's not the clothes. I mean, could be like satin nightgowns, the polyester nightgowns that I refuse to throw out, but it's something. And I'm looking online because, of course, we're all doctors, right? I'm like turning the internet inside out. 4 a.m. I'm like, oh my God, I have liver disease. I mean, knock on wood. I'm like, oh my God, I got cancer. God forbid. God forbid. And then I'm like, oh my God, am I pregnant? Am I premenopausal? I have no idea. It itches. It's like if I put calamine lotion on, it probably would be better. But I'm not putting that on. I'm putting powder on, and I'm just dealing with it. And I'm wearing, cotton, and except for now, because I'm in a satin kimono. But you know what? I got to still live my life. Okay. Okay. So again, not part of the planned conversation, but actually it was later in the episode. We have to talk about something so serious that I'm dying on the inside. I'm dying on the inside about powder. So, okay. I know, like you've read, right? Like that baby powder, the talc. You read about like the cancer cases about this, right? It's all over the news. It's been all over the news, whatever. And I just don't know. I know that I read that like Johnson & Johnson baby powder, and there's, all these like talcum powders, they could cause cancer, specifically like ovarian cancer in women. There's been a lot of cases. There's been a lot of lawsuits. I thought that through the years, oh, they took the talc out of the powder, whatever. And that's all. But I use powder all the time, specifically in the summer, because I'm hot and sweaty with Mediterranean jeans and I'm hairy. Like I need like powder like all the time. So, and forget it. When I was pregnant with the 2 girls, I was like a white powder monster walking all around the house, like literally footprints. Like my babysitter at the time, when I was pregnant with my second, Vivian, she was like, you have to not walk. I didn't care. I was like 900 pounds. I was a monster. I was constantly sweating. It was the dead of winter, and there was like big giant hoof prints everywhere. Anyway. So whatever. So I have this rash, put the powder on, rep Johnson & Johnson powder in my bathroom. New Yorker magazine shows up at the door, and I start reading. They have an article about talcum powder. So I'm just like paging through it. I'm like, I don't want to read this. Old news. Well, I don't know. I felt like it was God. I started reading the article, and there was a story about this woman. Sad mother, husband passed away. She was using, then she got ovarian cancer. And she realized that over the last 30 years, like every day she was using the Johnson & Johnson powder. Long story short, she like sued them. And I think this was like one of the big first, or it is like the biggest case or something in the history of this talc linked to cancer case or something. I don't remember all the details of the article, but I was like, lady, didn't like the talc come out of the powder? So I started to Google, and she was saying, well, I've been using it for 30 years. They didn't take the talc out of the powder. Like they're doing that in 2023. In 2023, Johnson & Johnson, they vowed to make all of their powders talc free, and they're going to use cornstarch, right? Okay, so here's the deal. So for the last 10 years, right, I've been dousing myself in this powder, and I'm now now I'm like freaking out. So here's the thing. I go on a tear. This is all related to the rash, because did the powder cause the rash? Of course not. Of course not, because I've been using it for 10 years. I haven't had a rash like this for 10 years. Something different is causing this. But I needed to tell you this because you got to throw out the Johnson & Johnson powder. Like I have the little mini powders. I have the travel ones that I would use at the beach with the kids, because if you put, if the kids are sandy, like they have like wet sand, like stuck to their legs or whatever, if you put a little baby powder in your hands, it takes the sand actually off. Surprise, surprise. It's a mom trick somebody told me, and it works like magic. But I do have, and I get hot, put under my bubs, whatever. So you got to throw it out. And I was so freaked out just by this talc thing. So I bought Gold Bond, the medicated powder. So now I'm using that. I also bought I think it's Caldacine. It's like the pink canister. The difference between these powders and Johnson & Johnson is they use cornstarch, not talc. So There's also, I want to say, I have in my bathroom since thrown it out. Save the container though. In Italy at the supermarkets, and you can find them at the Italian supermarkets here. There's a powder called it's like Felci Azura or something, or Felice Azura. I don't know. It's like a blue canister, plastic canister, and it has talcum powder, and it smells like heaven. And it comes with a buff puff, like a big puff, like a pink puff, like a powder puff, like a 1950s, like a beauty school dropout, sleepover party. Olivia Newton-John, so puff, and if you get like 1 scent, it's like a white one. If you get another scent, I have the one with the pink. I love this powder so much. I bought it literally for my mom for Christmas, for my sisters for Christmas, as like a little add-on to their gift. I love it. I get it at La Bella in Brooklyn at the supermarket. You can also order, and it's like $5. And you can also order on Amazon. The scent is delicious. The problem is it's like pure talcum powder. So, in the garbage it went, not the container though. Apparently, the reason why talc is so terrible is because there's like the teeniest microscopic, there could be the teeniest microscopic asbestos particles in it. So I don't even know what to say. Maybe I wasn't paying attention the last, maybe I was asleep at the wheel. But, remember like when you were like the little kid, in the paints in the classrooms that people were like freaking out in the 80s, like lead paints or like asbestos, all this stuff, right? Well, yeah, basically for any of us dumping Johnson Johnson powder all over ourselves, I don't know. What do we put in asbestos sprinkles everywhere? Like I can't even. Cornstarch is not as soft. I'm not going to lie. I miss the smooth. So went on the tear. Furthermore, I recommended like a million episodes ago a powder, like an alternative. So I used to use the Makeup Forever HD powder. It's like the white powder that, prevents the shine if you're like in pictures and stuff or whatever. But it's like $40 for the compact or the loose powder. So I then found an alternative that is amazing. And I've been using ever since Coty Airspun. And I talked about that. It's like a couple bucks on Amazon. Well, looked at the label this past weekend. Guess what I found? Talc. It's like number 1 ingredient. So in the garbage it went. Now instead I'm using the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, which is like all natural. I don't know, no talc, whatever. It's I have some here also. Physician's Formula, talc free. Another brand, True and Luscious, talc free. I don't know that brand. I don't know. But basically you can go on, there's this website like ewg.org. It's based, they've been around for a long time, but their website used to suck. It got way better. And you could type in ewg.org. You type in any of your beauty products and I'll tell you like if they are hazardous or if they have carcinogens in them, cancer causing things in them. And, of course, like Coty Airspun comes on, like scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like the worst for you. Coty Airspun, 9. I was like, Jesus Christ. That's what you get for buying $3 powder on Amazon. That's what I get. That, you know what? So I'm like, I'm not one of these people that look at like every single little thing because you drive yourself freaking nuts. But this article, for whatever reason, I felt like I got this rash and I'm doing the powder and I got the footprints and then I opened the magazine, The New Yorker, which doesn't usually have articles that talk about like CPG items, consumer pack of goods, like, like beauty-ish items, right? And I felt like it was all, hello, Elyse, just stop. So anyway, that's that. But I had to tell you so you can, do the same. I miss it though. I'm not going to lie. Then the baby powder J&J smells luscious. Okay. I am on tour with Vic DiBettetto. No, Vic DiBettetto. Oh my God. What kind of Italian am I that I'm mispronouncing this guy's name? Vic DiBettetto. Not DiBettetto. I don't know. I mean, I had an extra T's and E's in there. No, DiBettetto. I'm on tour with him. Not the full tour. Like he's going up to Canada. I think he was in Canada. He's going to some other place. I'm not on the full tour because I'm in New York. I got the kids. I got the job, the whole thing. But it doesn't make sense, like sometimes to go on the full tour with these people because you got to like sometimes pay for your flight and your hotel. Not always. It depends. Anyway, so monetarily doesn't make sense. So anyway, I'm on like the Vic DiBitetto Light Tour, having an amazing time. We just were at New Jersey PAC Performing Arts Center, Carteret, New Jersey, brand new space. Oh my God, amazing. Thank you for everybody that came out. If you came to see us, it's a 1,600 seat theater. It was incredible. We had a great show. The show, it was just me and him. It's just me and him. No host. There's like, they have a voice of God kind of thing going. I come out. I did 25, 30 minutes. Vic came out after, did an hour. Amazing, amazing time. The fans after the show, I mean, it was flooded. He was selling his merch. He has all these crazy shirts. I'm just there having a drink, talking to everybody, was taking pictures. All my friends came out. Oh my God, amazing. And by the way, we didn't even do fact of the day today. I got so caught up with the rash. Let me do fact of the day because, by the way, my friends came out because it's my birthday. Not today, next week. Okay, fact of the day. When, newsflash also to me, when it's a person's birth date and age at the same time, it's called your golden birthday. So September 26th. And so I guess my golden birthday was when I was turned 26 on the 26th. I don't know. I was engaged then. What a baby. Engaged at 26. Married at 27. I was a baby. So my birthday's next week. So a lot of my friends, they came to the show in Carteret and I was a surprise. I knew like a couple of them were coming, but I didn't know so many of them were coming. And I was so happy. Oh my God. So thank you. It was like crew at 12, like rolling deep, like Brooklyn and Staten Island and New Jersey style. Like everybody came out like in their gorgeous outfits, like True Towns. We shut down the bar, the bar was still like, the bar was like last call. My friends like, we'll take a couple shots. Like it was ridiculous. It was amazing. And I don't usually hang out like that, like after shows, because I'm tired. Like it's a lot, like I'm up there, I'm working. So, some people think stand-up comedy, you go, you just kind of like shoot the breeze. It's like, no, the second, like, first of all, like 10, 15 minutes before the show, I have to get in the zone, right? In my head, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to be talking about. And then, I know what I'm saying. And then I get out there and, it's like your words are coming out of your mouth. Your head, you're working, you work in the state. It's a lot. So I'm usually tired after shows, but this time I hung out and it was amazing. It was completely amazing. Last episode, we talked about Telfar bags. Okay. And one of our listeners, Jessie, hey girl, hey, she messaged me and she's like, okay. She's like, Elyse, here's the deal. Personally, I'm a Telfar girl. And she's like, and she's going to tell me why they were sold out all online. Quick recap, Telfar bags, there's these bags I'm seeing all over the place. If you open up like People Magazine, Us Weekly, you see them all over the celebs. They're like these big square tote bags, very functional bag, have like this like lowercase C or lowercase letter E kind of logo, like embossed huge on the front. And I didn't know what they were. Like, it's not like seeing a Louis Vuitton bag. It's not like it says Prada with the plate. Like I didn't know, it's just sort of like mystery if you don't know. So basically, Jessie told me that part of the novelty. Oh, and by the way, the bags are sold out online. Like if you wanted to get a bag and you go on the Telfar website, like every single color is sold out. They have like tons of colors. And she said like, oh, you should look at like the gold or the silver. You'd probably like it. Yeah. Jessie, guess what? I went on the website after you told me, look at the gold and the silver. I went right on the Telfar website, read your DM, went on the website, was like, oh, gold's gorgeous. Guess what? Sold out. She told me they come out with new colors. They drop new colors every week. So you have to be on the website at the exact time of the bag release. Otherwise, they sell out in minutes. So she said, at first, she wasn't like the biggest fan, but she decided to get the bag and give it a try. And now she's totally sold. And she loves it because she uses it for work and going out and running errands. And she said it's also a Black-owned business, so it supports a lot of Black artists and communities. Okay, so Jessie, you sold me on Telfar. Okay, I'm sold. I love a functional bag that could do day to night. I absolutely love it. I love a bag I could throw a whole bunch of shit in. I love that it's like a $200 bag and not like a $2,000 bag because last time I checked, I'm not spending that kind of money on a pocketbook. But I guess you gotta find out when the bag drops, when the new bags come out, which means that I'm gonna have to sign up for their newsletter, I'm assuming, or go on the rabbit hunt to find out the goose chase. Is that it? Is it the rabbit hunt or the goose chase? I always get these phrases wrong. My boyfriend's like, are you ever going to use these phrases? No, I'm never going to get them right. I'm just never, leave me alone. That's what I got to tell. I guess I'm going to have to go on a wild goose chase. I think that's it. And find when the new bags come out. So that's what I'm going to do because, next week's my birthday and I got to get with the program. I don't really. I mean, it's just though, like, it's like the MZ Wallace bags, everyone in Manhattan, all the moms, like a lot of them have these big MZ Wallace, like tote bags, like, well, they're like a zip kind of giant tote. And I never loved them, but then I got one and I was like, this is why everybody likes this bag because it's sturdy, it's functional. You could throw it in the washing machine. Like you could get shit spilled all over it. Like it wipes off. The price isn't crazy. So I'm assuming Telfar is going to be like the same thing, maybe minus the washing machine part. So I'm in. I am in. Okay. I read there was a lady, right? So I read in the New York Times Magazine. I love Kwame. I think it's Kwame Anthony Appiah or Kwame Appiah Anthony. He's the ethicist, basically. I know him as the ethicist. And, it's Q&A. People write in and he answers. Someone wrote in. Wait, you're going to die. Somebody wrote in that she works, she has a corporate job. She's a professional lady and she works 9 to 5 and she goes to therapy, like once a week. And she needs to, she needs to leave work to go to therapy. And she writes in and she asks, how does she tell her job that she has to leave every week to go to therapy? And she also says, she works at a progressive company. So she thinks they would be cool. Here's my thoughts on that. Why are you going to tell them? Are you kidding me? Like, here's the thing. I've been doing the corporate thing for 20 years and almost 20 years. And it has its pluses and minuses. And here's the deal. Okay. You cannot have people making judgments. People make judgments. They do not need to know that you are going to therapy. Why would you even tell them? Like, okay, so say you work at Google, lady, and you're like, Google's a cool, hip company. They're progressive. Everybody's like lean in. Everybody's left thinking, whatever the hell these words are, right? Your boss, you're hired to do a job, and your boss wants you to do the job. Excel, be on time, do your work, work hard, give it all, be a team player, the whole thing, represent the company, everything. Great, great, great. We all know these. These are like the unwritten rules, right? Are working, right? Unwritten rules. It's like what I talk about in my book when that comes out. Q1 2023. Anyway, unwritten rules at work, right? Why would you tell your boss, hey, lady, hey, guy, I got to leave once a week to get the noggin checked out. I need to go to my psychiatrist, let him do a med check. I need to go to my psychoanalyst so I could lay on a couch and do Freudian analysis. What are you, nuts? No, don't tell him. You know what you tell him? You just say, first of all, I wouldn't even say anything. I would just block it off of my calendar. If you've been working for 5, 10 plus years, you're probably senior enough, respected enough that you can block out an hour of your calendar each week and not have anybody question you. Okay. And you could do whatever the hell you want in that hour. If that's to get in the car and go get a coffee at Dunkin', fine. If that's to go to the doctor, fine. If you're junior and you feel like you have to go this time, you have to go during the workday, tell him that you have to leave work once a week for a personal matter, a personal medical matter. Nobody's going to question that. You don't need to. Here's the thing. There's a lot of double standards at work. Everybody's like, oh, we support mental health awareness. Oh, this, that, and everything. I've seen it all, right? I hear it all from my friends. They have like these campaigns, these employee activism campaigns. Yay, mental health. Yay, this, yay, that. Yeah, so funny. Except for the one person that then has a fucking breakdown at work. Then what happens? Did that person, isn't that funny that miraculously that person like gets let go like a few months later? I'm not saying that happened to me, but I've seen it happen, right? It's like, everybody's like, oh yeah, we're all okay with everything until then it affects somebody. So I would not be telling my job that I have to leave to go to therapy once a week during the workday. I would just say, I have something personal that I have to take care of, and it's a medical matter. And you're entitled. I mean, you are entitled. If you work for a progressive company, they, you gotta not tell everybody anything. You gotta not tell everyone everything. I think that my generation, older millennial, definitely the younger generation, we tell people a lot of things. The older generations, like my grandmother, 92, Depression era, she runs around like a mob boss, never says anything. Like, unless you ask her, she's not telling. But I think that, like, the younger generations, we spill too much, we're too open, we overshare because social media, the whole thing, and we do it and we just work, like that. Work is just like, we don't think about work. My generation, the generation younger, I think we don't think about work, especially if you work from home. We don't think about, or you're remote or whatever. I think that I don't think we think about work like it's 9 to 5 and you clock out at lunch for an hour and we just work. Like, work is just what we do. It's like going to the gym. You just do it. Like taking care of your kids. You just do it, right? It's just part of our life. We'll answer emails at 11 o'clock at night. We'll wake up and do things at 7 in the morning for work. It's like anything, right? At least that's how I think about it. So I think that, because we have that amazing work ethic, right? It could be very tricky, because then we're all of a sudden looking at our bosses and our managers as and colleagues as like our friends or our family and that kind of thing. And then we get so close to them and we tell them all these things. And I don't know, not something that you should be telling them, because they're not your friends. How about that? They're not your friends. Again, more of that in my book coming out. The Wing has ceased operations. I don't know if you guys know the Wing. It was a women-focused co-working space, by the way. They had clubs in, New York, DC, LA, Chicago, San Francisco, just like WeWork, but for women. And they had 10,000 members, by the way, and they charged $3,000 a year. So you had to apply for a membership, right? You'd pay $3,000 a year, and then you would be in their club, and you could go work at any of their spaces, the Wing. And they had beautiful spaces, like pink spaces, like in very feminine kind of designs, with feminine colors. They had libraries available to the workers and to the employees, people, whatever, remote workers, sole proprietors, whatever, and all female authors. Anyway, they ceased operations. Oh, and by the way, they had a wait list like Telfar. They love this business model. Hold on, gotta get a cup of coffee. Gotta get a sip of coffee. They had a wait list that was 9,000 names long at the Wing. So I never really kind of got that anyway, because the wait list is part of the strategy. Makes it, supply and demand, economics 101. Like hard to get in, then you want it more. It's like the cute guy. It's like the cute guy at school when you were younger, the popular guy. It's like he never paid attention to me. And then I liked him even more. It's like, oh my God, love you. Slams locker in my face. But they closed, or they closed down. They immediately. They a couple weeks ago, they blasted out. They ceased operations. They said that, they had economic troubles during the pandemic, but they also said that they wanted their members started to want access to suburban centers, suburban locations, because they were more remote and I guess affected by the pandemic. I don't know. They also had, I think, a lawsuit issue a few years ago that they were sexist, just catering to women. They used to keep the thermostat at 72 degrees to satisfy, they would say, women's high temperature needs. Color coded libraries. They had pump rooms, private phone booths that were named after girls like Lisa Simpson, Anita Hill. Here's the thing. I listen. I think it's great. Personally, though, I don't. If I was looking for a coworker, I've been member of WeWork on and off throughout the years, and if I was looking for a co-working space, I wouldn't care. I just I don't. No offense, the Wing. I mean, it's a really cool idea, but I don't need that. I want to network with everybody. I don't want to network with just women. I want to network with everybody. And I don't I don't give a shit if the library is female authors only. Like I don't give a shit if I'm making my WebEx call in the Lisa Simpson phone booth. I don't need a phone booth with the name on it. You know what I'm saying? Like really? But people liked it, and it was good networking. It's very, it's all chic and blah 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 blah. But here's the thing: if you had 9,000 people on the wait list, are you having economic difficulties? Because that sounds like that's 9,000 people willing to shell out $3,000. And if people really found your service valuable, maybe they would pay $3,100 a year. Maybe they pay 35. I think it's more that more people are remote. That's what I think. Or maybe they had their legal troubles. Anyway, oh God, I'm doing the winter-summer switchover. That's a nightmare. I read The Magic Art of Tidying Up like 1,000 times. The Marie Kondo Little Blue Book. You have to get that if you haven't ever read it. But here's the thing. I just have so many items that give me so much joy. It is so hard to part with them. Like I have, not clothing, right? I have a rhinestone Swarovski encrusted lips phone, red lips phone. It's like an art piece to me. I love it. I can never give that away. It brings me so much joy. You know what else brings me joy? My kimono collection. That's right. These polyester kimonos. I have kimonos. I went on my honeymoon. Did I ever tell you I went to Hong Kong and Thailand on my honeymoon? I bought a bunch of kimonos and not a bunch, 3. I bought a few kimonos in Hong Kong on my honeymoon. I don't wear them all the time. Sometimes actually I do. But I don't want to throw them out. They bring me joy, but they take up space. So this is the thing. Like it's like everything I buy, I feel like I tell myself it's a joyous purchase. So I text my ex-husband, not because I need him to help me freaking clean out my closets, but because he's very good at just like, you don't need it, get rid of it, that kind of thing. So I said, Paul, I'm dying here. I said, like, I got to get rid of stuff. I'm trying to make room. And he's like, if you haven't worn it in 2 years, just dump it. So I put all the stuff in bags, the stuff I'm not wearing, and I'll give it to my babysitter because she has grandchildren that are around my size and they work. They have jobs. I think one of her grandkids is like in dental school or something. Like they and then she has some family that live in beach areas. So like these girls, they put on my clothes and then my babysitter texts me a picture. And I'm literally like, oh my God, that's a slamming leopard bikini. Where'd you get that? And then I'm like, holy shit, that's mine. That's mine. It's mine. And that bikini bottom only fits one ass cheek. So I had to give it away. Like, that's the thing. She shows me the pictures and I'm like, these girls are slam, bam, banging in my clothes. And then I'm like, they're my clothes. But whatever. Like, what am I doing? Like, how many chartreuse sequin mini dresses does one need for that one phone call that I'm going to get to like go hit the Borgata for a night? Like, it's like never happening. It's like, I just have to tell myself it's never happening. Honestly, the most painful process is winter. And it's like winter summer changeover. It's really more like closet makeover. That's really what it's like. Anyway, speaking of AC, I am going to be at the Hard Rock in October. You'll have to come out. Okay. I had an audition on the weekend, last weekend. It was the most random. I can't talk about it because it's confidential, but you don't understand this. I just got called into this. I don't even know how they knew who I was. Okay. But the actor whose movie this is like one of the greatest Italian American actors of our time. Okay. That's all I can tell you. And I'm just like, they like me. They know me. They like I get an email and I'm like, hi, Elyse. Who are you talking about? Elyse DeLucci? Like, I'm just like, I'm like, I don't know, at the kitchen table, like making a trade or something. Like, and I'm like reading this. I couldn't even believe it. Anyway, we'll see. That's all I can say really about that. Okay. I gotta go. I got breakfast to make. I got to convince these kids that they have to eat their Cheerios and they can't get soggy. Because they get soggy, I gotta convince them to eat it when mommy puts it in the bowl with the milk. Okay, because my kids, I make the cereal right for breakfast. They're getting ready right now. I make the cereal. They want cereal for breakfast. Like they're like, stop giving us oatmeal. Okay, fine. Oh my god, they call oatmeal porridge. Mommy, we don't want porridge. Okay, fine. You want Cheerios? Great. But then they talk. Little cacadones, these two. They sit down at the table. They talk, and then they tell me 5 minutes later, mommy, the younger one, Vivian, she's like, mommy, the Cheerios. The older one, mommy, the Cheerios soggy. It's like, all right. Because, I got the different accents going with these kids. I just can't. So I got to get the breakfast ready soon. And my ex is like, you just giving them cereal? What about fruit? What about fruit, lovely? They need to eat some fruit. So I'll put some grapes on the table with them. Maybe like I'll peel a clementine. I don't even... Listen, breakfast and most important meal of the day, I get it. When I was a kid, I think I said this a long time. My mother freaking chuck a Nutri-Grain bar at me and be like, make sure you eat it all as I'm running to the bus. That was like my breakfast when I was a kid. These kids, they get a freaking smorgasbord. I can't. Anyway, product of the week. So it is my birthday. I want to buy myself a little piece of jewelry. I like to do that every year-ish, whenever I can. Buy myself a little present. I really want to get like maybe a black diamond, like eternity band, like a thin one though, and then I could wear it with like maybe another, or maybe I get like a thin eternity band, like diamonds and then a black diamond, like stacked up. I feel like that's like a really cute look. Right? One of my girlfriends, Marie from Staten Island, like I have a jeweler, right? And he is away for a few weeks. And I'm like, oh, it's my birthday. And he's like, oh, I'm going to be away. And it's just like, can I put in an order? And I'm going to be away when I get home. So I said to my friend, Marie, you got anybody for me? So she does. Well, Marie, she has the most beautiful eternity band. She has one for her baby's births on her, like, well, she has 3 boys, but she like her eternity bands are just stunning. Every time I see this girl, she has a ruby and diamond eternity band birthstone for one of her kids. She has a square sapphire and square diamond eternity band. But the stones are like amazing. Like I look at that and I'm just like, I love that. So I said, Marie, I hit her up for the jeweler. Give me the jeweler. Give me a number. Talk to the guy. He's giving me the whole spiel. No. I don't need the spiel. Like you were recommended. If your prices are right, we'll do business. Like that's it. Like I don't need the whole spiel. I want to just text. He wants to talk on the phone. What's the talking about? Why do we need to talk? I'll tell you what I want. He's like, well, I need to know the size, the width, the ring. I got all that information for you. I said, not only do I have all that information, I got a jeweler's loop, okay, in my drawer in my bedroom, okay? Like, please. So I said, I know what I'm talking about. So anyway, no, but I talked to him on the phone. So I told him, at first I wanted to do like maybe what Marie had, like a band for one of my daughter's birthstones, right? But then he showed me something that he made for his wife. He told me he had to upgrade his wife. Like, just like, I don't know, she needed a new ring. Needed, funny word. And he sent me this picture and it's diamond eternity band and then a black diamond eternity band. And then another diamond eternity band with the tiniest little black baguette diamond, like like chip little size. It is so cool. So I said to him, what's the price? Tell me the price. The price right? And then we went back and forth a little bit because come on, we all need to get a little bored again. Like, what do you think? I'm going to pay sticker price? I barely pay sticker price. I go in the Gap. I'm like, is this on sale? And they're like, no, it's full price. Well, do you have any sales? And then, I pull up the website. Oh, well, on the website, they got a sale. And they're like, okay, we'll give you the sale. I don't ever want to pay full price for anything. Okay. So anyway, I think I'm going to get these rings made. And when I do, I will, I'll show them off to you. But that's my product of the week. So it's not really a product. It's more like a birthday present for myself. But at one of my girlfriends, like, why do you want to wear an eternity band? Like, what, people think you're married? I said, excuse me. I'm not going to wear it on my left hand. I'm going to wear it on my right hand. This is a right hand ring. Maybe it'll be a middle finger ring. I haven't decided yet. Please. And why should we wait? Why should we, what am I'm going to wait until my boyfriend proposes to give me a diamond? Like, I'll buy my own freaking diamond. I don't need you. And besides, if I get engaged to him, because we talked about that. Meaning I'm like me and you. I talked about that, like me and you all. He's like, could you stop talking about our personal life on your podcast? I'm like, whatever. Sorry. No. But if we do get engaged, I don't even know if I want a diamond. I might want an emerald. That's right. That's right, ladies and men. Because I just feel like it would be second time around. I don't need a diamond. I want like a pink sapphire. I want something cool, like different, second time around. Just like I told him, I said, if we ever got married, don't think I'm wearing white. I mean, I probably actually would wind up wearing white. But and he's like, what would you wear? I'm like, leopard. Sequins. Okay. That's it for today. I think that's it. I think I'm done. Okay, quote of the day, Haruki Murakami. He is a Japanese author, and he is an amazing writer. One of his books that is definitely worth reading is What I Talk About When I'm Running. And he just has this way with words. And the quote that I love that he says is, pain is inevitable. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. That's so good, right? You know what? When you're in pain, get on your Peloton and freaking bike it out to Donna Summer in your nightgown, and then get off your Peloton and have some Oreos. That's what I'm talking about, girls. That's what I'm talking about. I'm Elyse DeLucci. This is Crazy Fucking Mommy. Thank you for listening. I will, oh my God, come to my show at Caroline's, September 29th. I can't believe I forgot that. This is Elyse DeLucci with Crazy Fucking Mommy, episode 115. I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.